We purposely came up with a provocative title for you, provocative but accurate title. How we can access leads, all the leads you want for a price that you can't argue with. And for those of you who are still figuring out our system, we have amazing leads, people coming to us asking for help. We invest in those leads, which, as with anything, is return on investment. So we have a great ROI. Our numbers show that. But the best ROI is the ones that we spend the least on but get the most out of. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And this is kind of born out of the trip I took a couple weeks ago to the Advanced Market Boot Camp. And, one of the reasons that we really push on everybody to get to events is because events is where big things happen, light bulb moments, where your business grows, where things shift. And we had an opportunity. Shout out to Addie for coming down to that event. You guys were hanging around the top 1% of our company down there. The people that are winning at the highest levels, and what's so unique about the Symmetry system is those people were our trainers. Like those people are training us on what they do to win at the level that they win on. I took a lot of notes, walked away. It's taken me a couple weeks to digest part of it, some of it, maybe 10% of it. I've got a lot I'm still working on and working through, but I want to kind of start sharing some things because there's some things that will move the needle on your business and very quickly. I mean, as in today. Um, it's the difference between the top 5%, what they do, and the bottom 95%. And the irony is the top 5%, when I say top 5%, I'm talking about 5% our company. If you look at the numbers, our most of our business my agency, Scott Menk's agency, Jacob Pogue's agency, Marshall Whalen's agency. If you look at Symmetry Financial Group, you're going to see 5% of the agent force account for 95% of the business written. And it's that way. I don't care whose numbers you bring to me, it's going to be that way across the board. However, it doesn't have to be that way because bottom 95%, what separates that from the top 5%? Very, very small things. Those top 5% are doing just a few things. And listen, I've hung around the really great people, top 5%. They're not smarter than you, right? They're not more privileged than you. They don't come from better backgrounds from you. In fact, some of them come from some pretty dark backgrounds, pretty rough backgrounds. But they're just a few things that they do. Yeah, Addie, absolutely. I mean, the golden nuggets, in fact, I think I wrote down my notes. We got a lot of golden nuggets, but honestly, we were pulling a lot of platinum out of that meeting. I mean, it is next level stuff. And so, what do the top 5% do differently than the bottom 95%? Well, again, a lot of the same stuff that we do. They go through a learning curve, they go through a learning phase, they figure some things out. They just learn a little bit more and they spend a little bit more time in the pocket. They go out and they do things to with that learning. They take the learning and then they put it into action, but they do just a little bit more. And so what we're going to be talking about today is what is this opportunity for you all? Why aren't we doing it? And how can we make it easier for all of you to do this? So, challenge to each and every one of you. Number one, be taking notes. This is stuff that you need to be writing down. If you're not writing down, I'm sorry. If you're attending these meetings, not writing stuff down, you're just not serious about the business. This is one of the first things that's going to separate you from the top 5% to the bottom 95%. Is the people that are taking notes, writing stuff down, are in the top 5%. I see them every time, every meeting. Those are the folks got notepads out, and I don't care where they're at in the business. Marshall Whalen takes notes. I've seen him. I've hung out with him. He takes notes. So if you're trying to multitask, I'm sorry. If you're hoping that you just go back and watch a recording, I see the percentages on recordings watch. People don't watch recordings. We always say we're going to do. I say I'm going to do it. 90% of the time I don't. Like I have good intentions, but I'm me. I got to confess that. So part of what we're going to go talk about today is is number one, being able to identify ourselves and where our hangups are and where the things that we're differentiating ourselves from that top 5% and staying in the bottom 95%, and what we could do to move the needle on that, guys. Okay. But at the end of this call, what I'm hoping is I lay out for you the easiest path forward to make this seamless in your business. That you will leave this call today with action steps that you can put into effect today, start working on by the end of today, that the rest of this week that you'll be putting in place in your business, that within 30 days you're going to see the needle move on the action steps I'm giving you today. Okay. And give it 30 days of honest, hard attempts. I say attempts because, as with anything, you have to take what you're learning, you have to implement it, and you have to take swings. I think you're going to be pretty amazed with your results if you do what I'm asking you to do today. And why I say that is because success leaves clues. The people that were at this event went through this process that I'm going to lay out for you today, and they did it, and they showed their numbers. They actually came with data to back it up. And, it's one thing for somebody to say, hey, I want you to go do this thing because it's going to be amazing. You're going to be amazing. Everything's going to be amazing. But it's something completely different when somebody shows up and says, go do these things. Oh, by the way, I did them. Here's what happened when I did them. And here's the results that I got. Okay. And we had that. We had that on screen at Dallas. So, um, Sean, I'm going to have you help me out here. I tapped Sean on the shoulder. I said, Sean, I need you to help me out. So, Sean already has his scripts. Hopefully he's practiced his line. Don't flub this up. We gotta stick the landing here. But I gave him a very simple script. And guys, we're going to start out with a little mini role play. And as I'm doing this role play, I want you to listen to how this process goes, because this is the exact process that I watched Ike Manello connect with somebody at our event while he was there as a trainer and as a presenter, who actually converted there with us at the event. Okay. So, Sean, I bumped into Sean in the elevator at a hotel. We don't know each other. And so, being polite, Sean sees me, I'm dressed up. It looks like I'm going somewhere. So he's curious. Sean, go ahead.
What do you do for work?
Ah, yeah. Thanks for asking. Well, you know how it seems like a lot of people are really struggling financially these days, like really kind of having it tough. Well, Sean, I help people pay off all their debt in 9 years or less without spending any extra money than they're currently spending, so they can live a more financially free and comfortable life.
That sounds great. How can I get that?
Uh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, glad you asked, Sean. I'd love to talk to you about it. I'm actually pretty busy right now. I mean, obviously, I got a lot of people coming, wanting to get in on this, and so I'm doing a lot of appointments. But if you could do something for me, if I could just get your number, when I get back, I'll take a look at my calendar. I'll see if I have any openings coming up. 10 minutes where maybe we can jump on a quick call, just to see if it's something that potentially may qualify for. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I am interested in understanding how that works.
Okay. Well, perfect. Yeah, if I could just get your number, I'll shoot you a text later today, and we'll see if we can't find a time to connect.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds great.
So what we just did is a role play where um, I connected with Sean in an elevator. Sean has no idea what I'm doing, but I was able to draw him into a conversation and get him to ask me to connect with him. Now, I didn't go into a sales pitch. Sean, I'm a specialist. I'm a debt-free life specialist who knows how to get people out of debt 9 years or less without spending any extra. What I did is I told a story. And this is what we're going to be talking about today. How do we tell stories? How do we draw people in? because the lead that is in abundant, that's everywhere around us, that is a price that nobody can argue with, is free. And again, we watched Ike Manello actually connect with a person at the hotel, not only be able to set up a debt-free life appointment, but recruit that gal into the business because she got excited about the possibility of what could happen here. So the reason why this is important, and this is why I'm wanting you, this is where, guys, I want you to drill down. You gotta lock in with me here, okay? Like eyes on the screen, pay attention. Let's chat because this market, this market is all around us, and we have a great lead system, but why would you spend money on leads when you have free ones sitting around you? Now, I'm not telling you to stop spending money on leads. We'll talk about that here in a second. But we are running past business every day and not slowing down. And this is a mistake that people make in business. And we see it all the time, not just our business. I'm just talking about business in general. You'll see people throw money at advertising. You'll see people throw, invest in the latest, gadgets and gadgets to make their business better without stopping and doing the very basic fundamental things that is going to help their business become more profitable more quickly, help more people. And that's the biggest thing because, guys, I did a quick search, Google search, and anybody can Google this. So Google is your friend, even though we make fun of it. But 77% of the households in the United States are in debt. Almost 8 out of 10. Now, everybody take a look right now at your phones. You pull up your phone. Take a look at your contacts. Pull up your contacts. So this is interactive. Everybody pull up your contacts. And depending on your phone, I want you to look at your phone, pull down your contacts, and tell me how many people you have in your contacts in your phone. Throw it in the chat.
Mine's lower than it used to be.
That seems like a veiled swipe at somebody on screen. Holy cow, Addie, 4,807. All right, hey, so who can beat that? Anybody gonna beat that? See what we got.
You want my old number or the new one?
875, 481. No one likes me, James. It's all right. 212. These are all good numbers. These are all good numbers.
How do you find the number of your contacts? I just see a list.
Scroll to
Depending,
the bottom. Sorry.
yeah, either that, yeah, could scroll to the bottom. Mine, if I click my account name, it tells me how many contacts. I have 828, by the way. I'm going to put mine in.
I need to hang out with Addie.
592, Ash, good. All right. So what I want you to do is take your number times 0.8. Times 0.8. Okay. Now let's type that number in the chat. What do we got? Even if you have to ballpark it, if you didn't pull up your calculator, you just ballparked it. Let's just throw it in there. 184, 169, 385. 38, 38.45. Addie's taking it all the way. Nobody could touch that number. That sounds like realtor numbers there. That's a realtor phone. All right. Hey, guys, thanks for playing along. So that is statistically the number of people that are in your phone that have some debt. Now, I don't know what form of debt. I don't know how much debt, but they have debt. We know the average household, again, coming from Google, the average household debt is around 104,000 in the U.S. 64% of homeowners have mortgages. Anybody working mortgage protection leads? Mortgage protection leads, guess what percentage of those have mortgages? I'm going to go on a limb. It's a trick question.
All of
No.
them.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. 100%. But here's the thing. Here's where I'm convinced, and coming away again, we learn lessons. So there's a couple things I think why are we not taking action on this, or why are we not taking enough action on it? Well, let's go through that. And I'm going to simplify it. Number one, if for those of you, and again, thank you for playing along, punching numbers. I'm not going to ask you to jump on the phone today and start doing a dial session on that. There's a more effective way to connect with those people, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay. Because what we need to do is simplify the process, simplify the business. And so this is where we got to start writing stuff down. We're going to take notes because I'm going to give you the action steps for you to implement this in your business with your warm market, with your clients that you're connecting with through leads, with the clients that you already have. This is going to be an action plan for you to revolutionize your business, because let's talk about numbers for a second. Because on the production side, what we call personal life services. So that's mortgage protection, general life, final expense, the critical illness. Those plans, our average case size is about $1,200 APV. Okay. So if you write an app a week, you're on average doing about 1,200. If you're writing 4 to 5, you're doing about $5,000, any point in between. And that's what you're shooting for. But with the advanced market cases, guys, the average case size on that is around 35 to, actually, I think it's been trending up. It's now closer, and I should have wrote this number down. In fact, I was trying to find it in the slides. Addie may remember it, but I think it's actually closer to 4,300 now. It's been climbing because as we've gotten better in this process, those case sizes are climbing. And so if you're writing a case at 1,200, which we want to keep doing, I'm not telling you stop writing mortgage protection. You've got to write mortgage protection. That's your base. But I'm adding cases in at $3,500 to $4,500 APV, even on a split with a SME, subject matter expert. You don't have to be a math genius to realize that you get a few of those in the pipeline and your APV is going to grow without you doing any extra work than you're already doing. Right? Okay. So what are we going to do to simplify this process? Well, it goes back to our 4 cornerstones, and our first cornerstone is belief in the system, and belief in the products that we're offering. And one of the things that is really a huge impediment for people getting into advanced markets, debt-free life, retirement rollovers, etc., is because they don't put themselves through the process first. So step 1 is to reset yourself. Guys, reset yourself. You have to understand the process before you can go out and ask other people to do it. And this is the missing link. This is a light bulb moment for me when I'm sitting there going through debt-free life, doing the training, and I listen to Ike Manello talk about how he is now basically he's no longer taking resets because he's so busy that he can't take resets. He can't have other agents sending him clients because he's so busy with his own clients. How many of you want to be so busy with your own clients that you can't take a referral from another agent? Would that make you happy in this business? Yeah. Ike Manello, and we hear a lot about Dylan Crane. Dylan's obviously a monster producer. Had Dylan not come around, we would have been hearing all about Ike Manello, and that would have been the only agent that we would know a name of being a $100,000 a month producer. Because Ike did $143,000 back last year, and it was all in advanced markets, debt-free life, infinite banking. Okay. But Ike, it's been a process. It's been a growing process, but it started for Ike because Ike went to boot camp back about 4 years ago and came out and for a year did nothing with it. Why did he do nothing with it? Well, for one, he didn't understand it. Why did he not understand it? And this is coming straight from Mike's mouth. He said, "Hey guys, I'm gonna be upfront, transparent. I'm gonna be honest with you. He said, I didn't understand it because I didn't believe in it. I didn't believe in it because I didn't set myself up for it. Like I didn't put myself through the process. So while it sounded good on paper, it just didn't click. And it wasn't until I went through the process that it clicked. And all of a sudden the light bulb moment came on. And so this is why cornerstone number one of our four cornerstone is belief. You have to experience and believe in the products for you to be able to share that with other people. So for all of us, myself included, do a reset to Sean, reset to me. If you don't want to talk with us, look, this is a no judgment reset. So I think one of the reasons why people are hesitant to do this because they don't want to share where they're at in life, and I get that. Guys, let me tell you a story. At coming into 130, top of the company, I looked at my wife a few weeks ago and was like, I feel like we should be further ahead than we are. I feel like we should have some things figured out. I mean, we've got a great business, but I still feel like we should be further down the road. And guys, having gone through this boot camp and being around debt-free life now for a few years, I had taken one of the early plans, but hadn't really stayed with it. And honestly, they were not well put together a few years ago. This process is so much more dialed in. The software has evolved to the point where now I'm looking at it and saying, it starts with me. I'm client number one. I've got to go through the reset process. I have to understand it. And what I want to share with you all today is number one, you need to go through the process so you can understand how it works, what your clients are going to be seeing. Number two, you need a plan for yourself. You say, hey, I have no debt, then reset yourself as an infinite banking. But again, going back to statistics, 80% of the population has debt of some form. I know probably all of us on here can get some help from this program. So reset yourself to myself, to Sean. Hey, you say, I'm kind of not comfortable with working with my upline. Guys, connect with us. We'll get you with another DFL specialist and another hierarchy. Just get yourself reset. Right. Make it personal because this is where this process starts. So this is because next step in this process is coming out of this, understanding what a DFL is and what it does for you, or what an infinite banking does for you. Is step two is now I have a story that I can go and talk to my flat tire list, my warm market, the people close to me. The reason I had you pull up the phone, the number of contacts in your phone. We're not doing a dial session. We're not going to drive these people nuts. What we're going to do is start having natural conversations. And it starts like this. And guys, here's a script. Write this down. Okay. Sean, I got to share something with you. And it's kind of funny. Ashley and I were talking the other day, and we were talking about how, I mean, we're doing pretty well, I suppose, but we got a lot of debt, and it's one of the things that we're kind of working on trying to pay off, but I hate to say it, we're making ground but not fast enough. And I actually came across this program that has changed our world. And Sean, before this, I mean, even with us paying extra and trying to pay things down, it was going to be about 25 years before we had everything paid off. And that's if nothing else popped up, which seems like it always does. But we came across this program, and Sean, we're going to be out of debt in 7.8 years now doing this. And wow. I just like to sit down with you and just kind of share, just real briefly, 10, 15 minutes of what this is and what it's doing for us, just to see if it might be beneficial for you and Brian. Would you be open to that conversation?
Absolutely. So what?
So guys, that's not a sales pitch. That's not a script. That's not me picking up the phone. And again, nothing wrong with it. I'm not dogging on that. When we work leads, we work scripts. But when I'm connecting with warm market, I'm connecting with them on a personal level. I'm connecting with them from personal experience. And this is what's going to move the needle for you and your business. Because when you come to somebody else with your story, with your journey, and with your being honest enough to say, hey, look, I'm not where I want to be in life, but I found something that's going to help me get where I want to go. people are going to respect that rather than me calling Sean up and say, Sean, hey, have you got debt? Like, can I help you pay off your debt in 9 years or less? Sean's going to say, dude, middle finger, don't be asking me about my business.
Mm.
Right. But if I go to Sean and say, Sean, here's where I'm at. And to be honest with you, we're kind of scratching our head and we're feeling like we're behind. Like we need to be thinking about retirement, but I don't see retirement anywhere on the horizon. But I found something that's going to get me there. Would you like to get on that journey with us? Obviously, that's a high level paraphrase, but that's the psychology behind this.
Mm.
Because step one is to reset yourself. Step two is to create a story that you could turn around and go to your flat tire market and tell exactly what you're doing to change the game for yourself and how you can help them change their game. Okay? Because when you do that, that draws people in. So again, well, we work leads because we need leverage and we need more people to talk to and be able to help. We have a natural market around us. We have people all around us who have debt, and I'll pause right here and say this is not bad debt. This is the other thing I think that debt-free life is getting hung up a little bit in our minds or some agents that I'm talking to is just like, Rob and Karen are actually doing really well. I mean, yeah, they own a home that they've got a mortgage on and they got cars and boats and stuff like that. But I mean, they make great money. Like they're not in financial trouble. That's not what debt-free life is.
Oh.
Debt-free life is not bailing somebody out as they're circling the drain, about ready to go under. Debt-free life is for smart, savvy financial people who understand that if they had less going out to finance companies, they've got more coming into them. Their financial future is much better. Right? Okay. So that's what that's why I'm taking you through this sequence. Number one, reset yourself. Number two, create a story. So number three, that you can go tell that story to your warm market, draw them in. They want to interact with you on this program. They want to become a part of this. Because when they become a part of this, they're not going to open this up to their circles of influence. You see how this thing scales? When I help the people around me and they get excited about what happens for them, and then I can turn around and help their friends and family, two things are going to happen. One, when I'm helping people with debt-free life, they're going to be happy to connect me with their friends and family because they know they're going through the same struggles that they are. But two, you're going to have a lot of people that are going to get excited about this program and say, wow, this is a pretty cool program. Is there any way that I can get involved with this? Like I could go out and offer it to my friends and family? Guys, think about building an agency where all we did was help people get out of debt. What kind of agency would that be? Where you had people that were coming to you and say, hey, John and Sarah told me you guys are doing something pretty cool. I'd like to learn more about that. And see, that's what's happening with people that are leaning into this process, that are following these steps that I'm laying out for you right now, is they're now creating agencies where it is self-generating on the lead side. It is self-generating on the recruiting side. They're able to scale their businesses and they're able to help a lot of people get further financially in life. And honestly, it's opening up a lot of opportunities within the traditional insurance market and retirement market. Okay. So step one, I'm going to repeat this over and over again because follow these steps and I promise you, you will have success unimaginable in this business. Reset yourself. Create a story. Connect or make your flat tire list if you need to do that first, and then connect with your flat tire list. Part of that obviously is rehearsing that script, if you will. I use that term very loosely because again, this is not about scripting. This is about connecting. This is about sharing your story. But make those calls. And as you start planting those seeds, we're going to take that flat tire list, which is typically 10 people, and we're going to start looking for ways to expand that out into what I would call a Hot 100 list. Because again, as we look at our people that we're connected with, 80% of them have debt. And of that 80%, how many of them do you suppose would love to be out of debt? Of the people
Oh,
you know that are in debt. And again, here's the thing, guys. This is a mind shift moment for us. Hopefully it is for you. It was for me. I've got a lot of friends that own a lot of real estate that I'm talking to right now. They are doing well on a cash flow. So they own a rental property that maybe they've got a mortgage on. They're paying a $1,500 a month mortgage, and they're renting the property out for $2,000. That's positive cash flow, $500. So it would be easy for me to say, well, hey, they're doing okay. They're actually making profit. So why would I want to talk to them about this? Well, I'm going to talk to them about this because they're business people. Like, what business person in his right mind says, well, I can make a $500 profit or I can make a $2,000 profit? I'm going to stick here in this $500 profit because I don't want to make too much money. Like,
mm,
like that's not a thing. That's not a thing. So, so this is the challenge for us is again in having these conversations to kind of break out of our own molds of, well, they're fine, they're okay, financially they can handle it, so I don't need to talk to them. Guys, when you approach this from not a marketing standpoint or not a sales pitch standpoint, but just sharing your story, hey, here's where I was, here's what I found, here's how it's helping us get even better and further along faster. Would you like to be a part of that journey? Now, we have Sean, we have myself, we have Addie. I'm sorry, your video's off right now. I keep forgetting to call you out. Addie went to DFL boot camp with us. Addie is also DFL certified. But guys, you got plenty of resources here as you're having these conversations to reset. Again, reset yourself first. Start working on your warm market. And let's take every conversation and turn that into 2, 3, 4 products. Because if you're doing the work already and you're working mortgage protection, protecting those mortgage protection people, and um, and then taking it to the next level, helping them get into that debt-free life conversation. Because that transition, again, don't overcomplicate it. Hey, James, I'm glad we were able to set this mortgage protection plan up for you. I know it's really important for you to protect your family, protect your kids. I do have a question for you, though, as we're going through this. Actually, something came to mind. I don't know if this is something that would be of benefit to you or not, but um, I had a client that I just worked with. We almost did an identical situation to what we did for you, mortgage protection, but we found out that he also qualified for a program that we have that actually helps people pay off all their debt, including mortgage and student loans, in 9 years or less without spending any extra money than they're currently spending. Is that something you want a little bit more information on?
yeah.
Yes. I would say 80% of the time, if not 100% of the time. The other, probably the 20% that you're going to get people that say no, or you probably won't say no. They're like, okay, but that sounds too good to be true. What is this about?
That's it.
Okay, you're not going to get no's. You're going to get, uh, uh, okay, what? Pay off all my debt in 9 years? No spending. Okay, yeah, but all right, you're pulling my leg. What are you talking about? And I would just say, James, I get it. I don't get it either. Like, this is above my pay grade, but I know this guy, Sean, and he's been working my clients, and everybody, I have yet to hear somebody come out of a meeting with him that's just not blown away, where he's been able to help them like completely transform their financial picture. And so, look, it's a 10-15 minute conversation. I'd I'd like to introduce you to him, and at least once you have the chance to talk to him, maybe it's not for you, but you'll know a little bit more about it, and he'll share the information with you, and then you can make a decision if you want to go any further with it or not. Would that be fair?
Yes.
That's simple. That's simple. Um, think about this for those of you who are dialing old leads. I took care of that 5 years ago. I got mortgage protection. I don't need mortgage protection. Yeah, let me make a note of that. I figured you did. We're just kind of going through and cleaning up the roles. You said, you know what? I see. It says here though, you do qualify for something else. I don't know if you were aware of this or not, but there's a program that will actually pay off your mortgage, help you pay off your mortgage in 9 years or less without spending any extra money than you're currently spending. Is that something you'd like to get a little bit more information on?
Mm.
Now, like for all the times that we get hung up on, if I can get somebody to say yes to that, and I take that lead that would have been hopefully a $1,200 APV mortgage protection sale, and I turn it into a $4,000 or $5,000 debt-free life sale. Oh, and I made Sean do all the work on it, and he split the money and paid me, and I don't have to do any more with this person. Would I do that all day long? Twice on Sunday? Yeah, absolutely.
Can you say that transition one more time?
Yes, I'm riffing. So let me go back and
So he think he's talking about the qualify for, like if you're
Yeah, so-
moving over. Is that what we're talking about, James?
No, so if they say, I've already got that taken care of, you said that's great. I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then you
so-
transitioned over to
Yeah, so I want to do so. So one thing is we want to keep when you're working, especially with somebody. Look, if they say, "I'm not interested," hang up. Guys, don't worry about that. There's nothing you do about that. You got to hang up. But if they stay on the line, I've already taken care of this. I can't believe people keep calling. You know what? Actually, that's the reason I'm here. Let me update your record. Make sure we get you off this list. I apologize for that. We're just cleaning up the record. Like, what are you going to do to kind of disarm the situation? Oh, by the way, though, it is. I do see here. Kind of surprised nobody's talked to you about this. Looks like you do qualify for potentially for another program that would help you pay off all your debt, including your mortgage, in 9 years or less without spending any extra money than you're currently spending. Is that something you would want a little bit more information on? So, and guys, here's depending on how they react to that. If I get somebody that's interested but really suspicious, I'm probably just going to send them a link to the SFG website, the Debt Free Life page. Hey, I'm going to send you a link. Watch it if you want to. If you don't, I don't care. That's fine. Like, I'm going to do a little takeaway. Like, if you want to watch it, great. If not, like, just delete the email or delete the text. But here's I'm going to send you a link that a little explainer video, and just check it out. If it's of interest to you, follow up with me, shoot me a text, and I'll get somebody hooked up with you. But if not, at least you'll know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I get somebody that gets really curious, wait a minute, did you say pay off my debt? How do they do that? You know what? James, that's a really good question, and that's above my pay grade. But I know this guy, Sean, and he's like the guru, like he's certified in this stuff. So, if it's all right with you, I can set up a quick conversation with him. It's just 10 minutes. He'll just kind of go over the details of the program. It's not going to be a sales pitch. You do what you want with it. If it sounds like you want more information, he'll help you out. If not, at least you know what it is.
Ash just said activate your hatch and throw them that landing page.
100%.
It does. Yeah. It gets deep there.
Yeah, 100%. And just treat it as I think with the people that hey, I've already taken care of this. I'm not interested. Obviously, my encouragement is to still try to, hey, we can help you save some money on that. Like, go ahead and go through your normal progression of overcoming objections. But if you got somebody interacting with you, no, I'm interested. I got taken care of. Thanks. Okay, great. Let me update your file. By the way, before I let you go, it does look like you may have qualified for another program, and I'm sorry, it looks like they didn't share that information with you, but the 9 years or less, guys, that's the hook line that you just become automatic with that delivery and let that land. It's going to land with who it lands with, and the others that it'll just go over their head. But if you use it every time and become just knee-jerk reaction, automatic with it, That's where we start converting some of these.
James, you unmuted? Did you have a question for Chris? No? Okay. I thought you had unmuted.
No, I like it. I failed to do this. I let him off the hook instead of going a little further, taking a stab at it, taking a shot. You never know what you get on that hook, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I think, if we can just adopt the mindset of like you've got nothing to lose. You literally have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So you've already got no, you've already got shut down. Don't want mortgage protection. I already have it. What is mortgage protection? Other it sucks. I don't care. Like whatever the answer is, guys. Like the pattern interrupt is actually that's the reason I'm calling. Yeah. So wait, why are you calling? Yeah, that's the reason I'm calling. That's the reason I'm calling. I'm calling to actually take you off the list here. We're kind of cleaning up. I'm sorry, you should have been taken off long ago. Like, however you want to phrase that. I apologize. Totally our mistake. Like, I'm getting you off right now. Like you're going through the motions of, and obviously do the DNR in switchboard, and opt. Go ahead and get them taken off. But as you're doing that, that gives you an opportunity to have that conversation. Oh, by the way, kind of surprised, but there's another program that you actually qualify for, and I'm sorry, it looks like nobody told you about it. Again, looks like we could help you pay off your mortgage in 9 years or less without spending any extra money you're currently spending. Is that something you would like to learn more about?
And that lead creates another lead.
Yeah.
When you start getting people out of debt, they're going to start talking to their friends because nobody else is really doing this the way Symmetry is doing that. You correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but you look at other things, nobody's doing it like this, right? And especially an instant approval from foresters.
That's why Ike is not taking resets now. He can't keep up because he's got too many referrals.
Jerry had a question, Chris. What about if you wouldn't qualify for term, or basically like now you can take this, but the one thing I'll say is if you can't get an instant approval, you can go to fully underwritten, but if you still don't qualify, then yes, he's asking, would you go to an annuity? Because then you don't have to have the health questions, that kind of thing. I don't know if you want to take that.
I mean, obviously it's a little bit of a challenge, but I would say, there's a couple of different avenues that we have. One is if we have healthy family members that are willing to participate in the program.
I forget to talk about that. If you've got a son that can do the debt-free life program for you and is in good health, you can write it on them to be able to do the debt-free life program versus, somebody that's older and has bad health. Yeah, I forget to talk about that. That's so true.
So it doesn't matter.
Those are tricky. Don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
It doesn't matter who you write it on as long as they're part of that debt.
No, they don't have to be part of the debt. You can write it on people who are not part of the debt. It is a little bit more challenging, but if you have an opportunity, somebody that's intrigued, wants to get in the process, look, bottom line is reset, and we'll sort it out, and we'll work with them and do everything we can on our end to get them qualified for it.
Yeah, it's kind of like just to follow up on it, someone else's debt, but you're just taking those amounts for that debt and putting it into that program to be able to be putting that money into it and bringing it back out every month. We're not paying the debts for them, right? They're going to pay the debts with what we give them that loan back out from, so they can take it and assign it to those debts for whoever else they belong to at that point. I want to go on. Addie asked if you don't qualify due to your health, do you pivot to IBC? IBC is really the debt-free life. That's the platform it's built on, Addie. So you'd be qualifying for the same thing at that point. IBC is the Par Whole Life.
So you would still need to qualify health-wise?
Yes.
Okay.
Preventive banking, yes.
The only one you wouldn't is an annuity.
So how does it work if, say, I didn't have good health and I wanted my son to be the person that I write the IBC or debt-free life on?
you would
That's a
still, oh, go ahead.
conversation. Oh, sorry, Sean. I didn't mean to
No,
jump in.
go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
Well, and obviously, once we get in and present, like we're going to start off first just presenting what it is, understanding that, we're going to help you become your own bank. Basically, we're going to give you the leverage that banks have to make money, but the
Mhm.
banks are taking money from you. They're taking money from you. They're charging you lots of interest. And our system is really set up to reward the banks. Well, we want to give you the leverage that banks have, but give it to you for yourself. And so once they understand that it's not, I mean, yes, we're using an insurance product, but it's not about the insurance. And that's why these programs are designed the way they are. If we get insurance with it, but it is the smallest piece of the equation. It truly is. And that's how we're designing these things. They're being designed so they are the smallest piece of the factor. And this is why it's so competitive, even with programs like 401k and CDs and all these other things, because the way we're structuring this is going to be heavily focused on cash value and dividends, with that insurance component. But not to get too far off track, but what I'm trying to convey with that is, even I have somebody, let's say I've got somebody that's 65 and they've had, quadruple bypass, and there's not a snowflake's chance in hell that they're going to qualify, but they've got an adult child that's 40 years old in excellent health, and they've got a good relationship. Obviously, that's going to be key. How do you like your son? Do they like you? Great. Would they do anything for you, like including, taking a hit on an insurance exam? Great. Okay. Well, here's what we can do. We can set this up to where, you're the owner, your son is the insured, and as long as they get approved, you can own the plan. And look, here's the benefit of it. You own it for your life, and use it and get out of debt. And then at the end, after you've used it, and maybe at your death, you want to turn ownership over to your son to continue participating in the program. You can benefit them.
Ownership transfer. Yeah, that's so good, Chris. I mean,
Okay.
I want to follow up, Chris, on some of the things that you said. I mean, we had a meeting earlier today, Addie, Jerry, Brian, and I, and we were really talking about marketing, social media, those kinds of things. So, like what Ash had mentioned about getting in and getting your hatch done, we can talk a little bit more about this in depth. But you can take the like your debt-free life page, and then you take social media. So you get into the hatch, and down below they have debt-free life. They have all kinds of different things that you can post on your social media, everything you have, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it may be. And you can send them that along with the link that will take them back over to your website, so that they are being sent to your website. And as you're talking, Chris, you can also do that with your contacts, right? Like, if you want, here's a place where you can go. This is what I'm doing now. Take that picture and then connect the link to it and send that over. So you've got everything you need to be able to take and start even putting it on social media or sending it to your contacts. The one more thing I want to add to that is we've also been, you're taught right, Ash, is there's so much we can copy and paste to be able to get someone's attention. Brian and I here tonight at 6, we put something on for We Are Hiring, right? Brian just put something on. Somebody that's in the insurance industry, we've known her for years, and guess what? After our meeting tonight, she's coming over to the house. We're meeting with her, but it's all from Brian just putting that one post on there. She saw it, she looked at it, and she's like, Sean, I'm tired of what I'm doing in the PNC. I'm interested in doing this. So we're meeting with her. The last thing I want to add to it, Brian and I, we're doing, Chris is coming, we're doing a group overview for recruiting. And we're using the library as a free platform. Ours is, it's like an arts and innovation hub kind of thing. But if you live in that area, in this area, it's free. Well, it's the same thing at no matter what library you go to. Well, as I'm going through it, now there's places for a board for you to put on their board to be able to let different events that are going to be going on go there, learn the debt-free life, and you can do the overview for free. It's not going to cost you anything. Put something on the board and then set it up. You might only get 3 or 4 people, but now you got 3 or 4 people that are going to tell 3 or 4 more people after you do the overview for them at the library. There's just so many ways about going on. I just wanted to kind of add to that particular point, Chris, that there's so many ways to be able to, for free, be able to get these people and be able to, whether it be social media, but copy and paste inside Hatch.
Yeah, one piece there, obviously 100% endorse, using Hatch, using, the tools. The leverage for taking off is going to be number one, reset yourself. So I'm going to go back to the steps.
Yep.
Number two, create a story.
Yep.
Number three, direct reach out. So do the social media stuff, do all that, but that's guys, that's going to be drips. That's going to be bonus. Where you're going to get the most traction is going to go through the process yourself, create your own story, start having conversations with people.
Yeah.
Like this is a full contact sport. And, while like the digital world we live in, it's amazing to be able to reach out and have people come to you. But if you'll notice, even with all these tools that we have, we don't exactly have people flooding. Like none of us have reached a point where we just can sit around and take insurance calls all day. People wanting mortgage protection, people wanting life insurance. And I know a lot of us are posting on social media. So keep doing that thing because we're going to pick those things. But again, what I want us to understand is that's all bonus activity that is in addition to. Where we make our money is on the ground, full contact sport. Full contact sport means I do it, then I reach out to other people and I show them how to do the same thing.
Got it.
So, and again, don't misinterpret what I'm saying there. I'm not poo-pooing, like we got to do all the stuff. We got to do the content, put it out there. Hatch is there. It's so amazing what they're giving us from a marketing standpoint, millions of dollars of marketing for free that we get to utilize and leverage. We will not build a business off of that though. This is where like it's, leads, we buy leads, warm market. We reach out to warm market and have conversations. And that's the key to this piece. Gotta have conversations. If we're trying to do it through text or through social media messaging, you'll get a little bit, but you're not going to get enough that's going to move the needle. We have to get in front of people, and in front, air quotes, but you have to get voice to voice. Here's where I was. Here's where I am. Here's the thing that is transforming my life, my future, my finances. I'd like to talk with you a little bit more about it.
Relationships. That's what you're talking
Relationships.
about.
And the same thing with the with our little role play, Sean. As we wrap up, I know we're coming up to the end, but the psychology behind that. When Sean asked me, what do you do? I didn't say I'm an insurance agent. I didn't say I'm a debt-free life specialist. I didn't say I'm a retirement like that's what everybody does. So that doesn't differentiate. I tell a story. Well, Sean, you know how people are really struggling, seems like financially right now. Well, I help people get out of debt, including their mortgage in 9 years or less without spending any extra money than they're currently spending so they can live a more peaceful, financially free life. Problem, solution. This is how they are living a better life now. That draws people in. So you're walking around a shopping center or you're in a restaurant and somebody, hey, what do you do? You know how? And guys, you could do this with it. Like you could in an instant, like you could be talking with somebody, like a guy asks you, what do you do? And you see a Rolex on his arm and he's wearing, he's wearing the nice threads. You know how it seems like a lot of people are kind of looking for ways to, to get out of the leverage of the market and, have concerns about their finances being wiped out. Well, I have people set up plans that give them growth without exposure to the market. So, hey, they can go out and live their best retirement life and not worry about losing a single penny, or set up a lifetime income. Or so, how becomes our story setup. In my market, I can almost read that as I'm standing there talking to somebody. But guys, I kind of went on a little rabbit trail there. The one that's going to land the most for you is, how people seem to be struggling financially, or things, everybody seems to be kind of tight a little bit financially. I help people get out of debt 9 years or less without spending any extra money than they're currently spending, so they can live a more financially free and abundant life.
Absolutely.
And then leave it there, because what you'll get is people will say, really, how do you do that? I mean, I'd love to have a conversation with you. I'm actually kind of busy right now. Obviously, everybody is coming, wanting to learn it. So I'm booked up, but if you don't mind, let me get your number, and if I find an opening here in the next few days, I'll shoot you a text and we'll see if we can find a time to jump on a quick call, and I'll tell you a little bit about it, and we'll see if there's something that potentially you might qualify for.
So good.
Drawing them in while pushing them back.
Yeah. Okay. I got lots of notes. I ain't no Marshall Whalen, but I got lots of notes.
Well, guys, and I have lots of notes too. So, there's an old saying, that's very, very wrong. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is powerless without action. So, hopefully you did take a lot of notes, but what my bigger hope is that you take these notes and you sit down and, what's the first thing that I could do? What can I do to move the needle on my business? And I'll tell you the answer right now: reset yourself. If you haven't gone through a reset, get a reset done, regardless of the outcome. Regardless if you're in it, like you just changed positions, you don't have any, you're in a position where you can't implement the plan today, at least understand what the plan is. So then you can turn around and say to somebody else, hey, I found a way that I can now get out of debt in 9 years or less. And use your number. For some of you, it's going to be amazing. Some of you are going to say, I've had a plan I can get out of debt in 5 years, and it was going to take me 35.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe but all of you, I guarantee all of you are going to have a better outcome than what you were going in with.
100%. Absolutely. Absolutely. So good. I mean, it's so many different ways to be able to get new clients from what we already have. What you have already right now is
Free.
the biggest takeaway. Yeah, free. 100%. Yeah. Or what we have already got and working it. James is on it. I can see it already. Those wheels are turning over there at the moment. I can see it going on. Oh. All right, guys. Anything else you want to add to wrap up tonight, Chris? Good call. Good call. Good information. Good content. Thank you. All right, guys. We will see everybody in accountability tomorrow morning. Kagan's new. Get in there. We'll plan on seeing you tomorrow morning with us as well, Kagan. All right, guys. Everybody have a great evening. Thanks again, Chris.
Thank you all.